Hi crafters, today I will be showing you how I made this miniature tall rattan cabinet. I start off by making the pieces. I made 2 door fronts, the back, bottom, top, 2 sides, and 4 shelves. Then I took the doors and cut out large rectangles where I wanted the rattan to go. For the rattan, I'm using this cross-stitch fabric. Measure out how big you need them to be, and cut out 2 rectangles. You want this to be bigger than the cutouts, but smaller than the doors, so you can glue them down better. Once you're done, it's time to dye them. I'm using Distress Stain by Tim Holtz in the color Black Soot, but you can use any dye you have or even watered down paint. As you can see, I'm stacking them on top of each other to dye them both at the same time. I made sure to dye both sides of the fabric and then let them dry next to each other on a flat surface. While this was drying, it's time to start gluing everything together. For this to look as nice as possible, I am gluing the top piece to the top of the sides and back, and the bottom piece on the inside of the sides and back pieces. This way you won't see the seam or the edge of the bottom. Once it's dry, you can glue down the shelves, make sure that they are spaced evenly throughout. Now it's time to paint. I'm making my entire cabinet black, and because the rattan is black, I want the inside to match so you won't see a different color peeking through. Using cross-stitch fabric is a really simple and easy way to mimic rattan. But for those of you who want a little more detail and are up for a challenge, in my next video I will be showing you how to make a more intricate design with your rattan. I'm going to throw a picture up on screen now of what I will be mimicking so that you can see what I'm talking about. The reason I'm not doing that in this project is that I wanted the cabinet to be all black, including the rattan. So unless I wanted to leave the rattan white, I knew that most of the detail would be hard to see. So I decided to make a simple version this time so that you could see that it works just as well and looks really nice on its own. Once that video is up, I'll link it at the end of this video. For the legs, I'm using a square wooden dowel and cutting off the length I want. Glue them in place and paint them black. Here you can get a visual of how the rattan will look on the cabinet and make sure that it fits the way you want it to before it's time to glue them in place. I'm using miniature gold hinges for this and gluing them to the outside so that the cabinet can open further. I did make a small groove using my X-acto knife so that the hinge would lay flat, and then painted over it in black. I think the gold looks really nice with the black cabinet, so I don't mind some of the hinge showing. Once the doors are in place, it's time to glue down the rattan. Using a runny liquid superglue, I put a thin line of glue going around the inside of the door and then placed the fabric on top. I held this in place for a minute, making sure it lays flat as it dried. Do this to both doors. And this is what it should look like. On camera, you can see the paint looking patchy on the sides by the hinges. It's not noticeable in real life, but for some reason my camera decided to pick it up. For the handles, I am using a tea light and cutting out 2 equal sized strips. I use some jewelry pliers to make it into this shape. You don't need pliers, but it makes it easier. Using some alcohol ink, I painted them gold to match the hinges. I left them long while I painted them so it would be easier and I would have something to hold on to, but after they would dry, I cut off the long part at the bottom. Make a slight groove in the door where you want the handle to go and then glue them in place on the inside. And we're done! I hope you like this video. Stay tuned for the next one, when I'll be showing you how I made a different rattan cabinet with a more elaborate design. Make sure to hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!